Hi, my name is Victoria and I want to help my students improve their reading skills.
I want to teach my kids how to effectively comprehend word problems.
I want to teach my students math.
I want to teach my students to be proud of who they are.
I want to teach my students to have the confidence that they need to succeed in life.
I want to change a student's life.
I want to teach my students to love to learn.
The second project is named as such based on two principles: the location of the service learning collaboration, segundo barrio, one of the poorest zip codes in the nation, and putting my students in situations in which they learn that every second of every interaction with an individual has the potential to change a life. Here you will see students, future teachers from the University of Texas at El Paso, tutor and mentor students from Segundo Barrio.
Hola. Hola. Tiene como así. Hola.
Right there, right over there, sitting down.
I know that yesterday a parent called and said their daughter was very happy to be coming to tutoring and very excited, and her comment was, "Mom, I know I'm learning, but it doesn't feel like I'm learning."
Diego's portraying a lot of good characteristics on eagerness to learn. He comes very energetic, excited to work, and I think especially in a subject like math, that's very important to have a high level of energy because it's a tough subject, and he's doing real well. He's doing really well.
I'm teaching him the past tense, and we're making sentences from present to past tense, and we are practicing how to translate those sentences.
O sea, yo nunca lo he visto así tan emocionado que con venir. O sea, porque yo a veces cuando venimos hacia clases medio de repente no quiere y venimos así como que lo traigo a fuerzas, y ahorita en las tutorías está viniendo, yo a veces le digo, no vamos, pues es una hora, pero él viene así como que, no, sí voy, no quiero faltar. Y, o sea, yo me quedé así sorprendida que él está contentísimo con las tutorías.
Why do you think the kids like going with the tutors so much?
I guess the one-on-one, they always like attention, to have the teacher's attention, and maybe here in the classroom it's kind of hard because you have these other students, and the fact that they're just with one person and all their attention is for them, it's more beneficial, and they feel like they're being heard and they're being helped, and they're not judging them. They're also funny, like they understand them and they try to connect with them and try to get to know them.
I want to empower my students to be good citizens.
I want to show my students that they are just like everyone else.
I want to help my students discover their true calling.
I want to teach my students how to become critical thinkers.
I want to make an impact in my students' life.
I want to teach my students that no matter what obstacle life throws at you, you can always overcome and be successful.
And I want to encourage my children to dream big.
Hey!
Good job.
Times 30.
No, 65. 65.
How about 65? Yes. ¡Ah, no me quedé! ¡Lo tengo mal!
A ver, yo te...
No se vale. ¿Ves? No.
Gané.
Inside.
So who's the best at multiplication? Let me see. Me! Alright, are y'all having fun? Yes. Are you learning a lot? Yes. Alright.
This is 0, so in total there will be 16. 144 is 16.
Good job. So go ahead
There are
and read that one.
260 people.
When other people come in from outside, our students tend to get very close to them, and sometimes they talk to them about things that they wouldn't normally come to us about. And I think that's very important because you learn where your students come from and what kind of environment they're living in, and it's important to bring that into the classroom because you get that bond with them.
So I realized kind of that I can dig deep and I can reach out to them. It was just like that doubt, like that point where we can, yeah.
Yeah, I had it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You did a good job though.
Yeah, we did good.
I just found that the more time you spend with them, the more of a sort of window into their life you get. You start to learn about their interests, about what makes them tick, and that's something that's really important because like we're learning in the class, you got to make it relevant to them. You know, it has to be something that they find interesting or else it's just busy work.
At this point in my life, in retrospect, I think that I took my education for granted growing up. You know, I had everything that I needed growing up. You know, I didn't struggle at my schools. My teachers always pushed me, and it was just noticing the difference. That me taking my education for granted and seeing there's a 6th grader who's struggling and she's not the only one, you know? In 6th grade, I was reading chapter books and she can't. So it was heartbreaking.
The reason that I chose to be a bilingual teacher, it was because I want to help those students that, you know, because I know the struggles that they are going to have when they first came to this country. You know, so that's my mission.
I want to teach my students the ease and excitement that comes from doing math.
I want to be the kind of teacher that students can trust both inside and outside of the classroom.
I want to teach my students that all of them are special in their own ways.
I want to help my students reach their highest potential.
I want to teach my students to have fun learning. I want to teach my children to love to read.
I want to teach my students to be successful in every possible way.
Aprendí los números.
Ajá. ¿Y qué más?
Aprendí las sílabas.
¿Ah, sí? ¿De veras?
Aprendí las sight words. Aprendí los colores. Y aprendí las figuras geométricas.
I mean, there's nothing compares to actually being there with the student compared to just reading what you should do through the textbook. I mean, I knew I wanted to teach when I first entered college 7 years ago. I knew I wanted to teach. Well, I assumed I wanted to teach, but throughout the years I kept changing my major. I was unsure, and nothing really made my mind. I never really made up my mind until today. I mean, last week when I actually sat down with a student, and they were depending on me to teach them. Before, I've observed classrooms, and even then I said, maybe I like it. I don't know if I have a passion for it. But really now that I'm sitting here teaching students and they're counting on me and I'm counting on them to tell me what it is that they need, it's just a whole new ballgame, and I can honestly say this is my passion now. I get home, I'm excited, I tell my mom about it, I'm excited to tell my kids about it, and it's just great. I mean, I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life.
Thank you, tutor, for helping me in everything. Thank you, tutor. Thanks for being my tutor, and you're the best tutor that I ever have.
What's your name?
Aldo.
Aldo? Why did you come to tutoring in the summer?
Because I wanted to improve my English.
Really?
Yes.
Is that important to you?
Yes.
Why is it important?
Because if I learn English, I will be 2 persons.
Really?
Yes.